Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys joining us for today's video, because today we're going to be talking about some things that every bass angler should be able to do, but probably 95% of them are unable to do it. So I think after we get done with this video, might be some good motivation to do some things that will really help your fishing out. Actually, I'm on the way to Chicago, Illinois right now, guys. We got our annual Bridgeford Pro Fishing Team meeting. So going to get a chance to hang out with all the team up there for the next couple days, and probably be doing a lot of the videos over the next couple days from on the road and in the hotel room here. Also, guys, before we get started in the video, just want to invite you that we've only got, I think, about a week left on the Black Friday sale for not only Tackle Warehouse, but for Solar Bat sunglasses. If you guys are looking for some really good deals on tackle or sunglasses, if you go into the description of this video and use that link, you guys can take advantage of that. It's a good way to support the channel, and really appreciate that. Okay, guys, let's get into what every bass angler should be able to do and know about, yet very few of them do as far as overall. So got a sort of some random list here, some things that come to the top of my mind. The first thing, guys, is every angler out there should be an expert at boat positioning and running a trolling motor. And I think this is probably one of the most overlooked aspects of being a really good bass angler is your ability to run a trolling motor almost like an art form, because trolling motor is so critical as far as putting yourself in position to make the correct cast. And that's pretty much half of it, guys. If you can't make the right cast, and if you can't make that cast at the right angle and put that lure where you want it, you just are not going to catch many fish. And so much of that has to do with being able to position your boat based upon the variables that you encounter. You know, the current, the wind speed, the wind direction, the sunlight angle, you know, how the cover is positioned on the bank in relationship to all those elements. So one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give you guys is really practice a lot on your trolling motor, and not necessarily practice as, you know, not only practice as far as the positioning part of it, but practice approaching the cover at the right speed. You never want to come in too fast. You never want to come in too slow to a piece of cover. You want to come in at the right pace all the time. So the pace, the angle, everything is really critical, and everybody's boat reacts differently. So that's why you really need to spend a lot of time with that. Sort of right along with that, align with that, guys. The next thing that every angler should be able to do, but very few people can, is you have to put your bait where you want to put your bait. You got to be an expert caster, in other words. Now, I realize that a lot of anglers are losing their casting skills, so because so many of the spotlighters are just casting out into open water and they don't ever have to hit targets anymore. But the true art form of bass fishing, and fly fishing for that matter, lies within being an expert caster. Casting is an art form. Casting is an art form just like gymnastics or something. And if you ever look at somebody that is a really good caster, it looks like they're performing some type of an Olympic, you know, activity. It's like there's a fluidity and a rhythm and a pace and a beauty to casting that can't be matched. And I can look at somebody, guys, I can be on the water and I can watch somebody fish, you know, 100, 200 feet away from me, and I can tell you how good of an angler they are just by watching them cast, just by watching, you know, how they move and how they position their wrists. It's something I've observed it so much I can just do it. So spend time, practice casting. Don't ever underestimate how important that is. It's not a waste of time to set up a little target field out there and try to put that bait where you want it. And not necessarily where you want it, but casting past where you want it, where you can bring your lure past a piece of cover or target at the right speed and the right pace. So never underestimate that. Another thing everybody should know, but nobody hardly knows about it, is seasonal patterns and bass mood and personality. This, if you guys have watched the channel here a lot, guys, I gripe about this a lot, because everybody, well, not everybody, the vast majority of people that watch my videos tune out completely when I start talking about bass movement, behavior, and bass personality and seasonal patterns. they are by far the most important element in bass fishing. Unless you're just an umbilical cord baby glued to your live scope, you have got to have a deep, intimate understanding of seasonal patterns and bass movement behavior in order to be successful and consistent on a long term. But it's something that requires a lot of effort and time and work, and that's why people don't want to hear about it. They want me to tell them about the newest lure or this new secret color, you know, some type of an easy out. But everybody should have a very in-depth understanding of those elements of seasonal patterns of movement and bass behavior, and they should be well versed in it, and they're not. Like again, 95% of the people I talk to, they operate at a first grade level when it comes to seasonal patterns and bass movement behavior. So I highly suggest, guys, watching videos. Anytime you see a video on seasonal patterns or bass movement behavior and, you know, things, how bass react, not necessarily having to do with how to catch bass, please watch those videos, because that's going to help you tremendously. Another thing out there people, you know, need to know, but they don't understand it. They need to understand what causes a bass to actually strike a lure, because there are lots of factors that cause bass to strike a lure besides being hungry. This is another thing you hear me talk about a lot. You know, most of the time bass strike a lure out of reflex or curiosity or anger or competition. It's not because they're feeding. I think a lot of the feeding that goes on at night. So having an understanding, again, in correlation with the mood and the personality of the bass, will allow you to pick the right technique for that particular day that will generate the strike. That has a lot to do with it. So that's just a few things off the top of my head, guys, that, you know, a lot of people should know, but they don't. I mean, that's a lot of people, everybody has sort of like different things they want to get out of bass fishing, and that's cool. I understand that. You may not be this hard charging, you know, wanting to like be the best bass fisherman you can in the world. You just may want to go out and, you know, have a relaxing afternoon with your buddy and, you know, throw a jig up against the bank or something. That's great. I mean, if that's what you want. But trying to give a little bit of something for everybody here on the channel, regardless of what your goals and your you know, things that you want to accomplish in the sport are. So that's just a few things that come to the top of my mind. We'll probably do some more videos on this, but anyway, just you know, might incorporate a few of those things into your fishing. It's really going to help out. And guys, if out of everything that I talked about there, if I could give you one piece of advice that people are weak on, that you should practice on, it's really being an expert on that trolling motor and your casting. If you can master and become just as good as you can get with your casting skills and your trolling motor operation, your catch rate is going to exponentially increase by doing that. So anyway, guys, hope you're well. We'll check in as the trip goes on. Talk later.